The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
So let's get into today. Obviously, we have a couple days before Christmas. If you guys have kids, you know, this is a great season. I know this is one of my favorite holidays, especially with my daughter who's 5. She always is super, like, literally, I think if she just had a piece of paper to open up, she'd be excited. So it doesn't really matter what she gets. She's excited regardless. So this is one of my favorite times of year, just to see her and to be able to see that. Now, we got a special episode today. We're going to be looking back on 2020, and just me and Caleb are going to talk about the one thing we've accomplished this year, or maybe one or two things. I got a hat giveaway. We also have some brand new hooded sweatshirts in. They're so brand new that we don't even have them in yet. They're literally at the printers getting printed as we speak. So we're going to be giving away one of those at the very end. So stick around because you're not going to want to miss an opportunity to get one of those. It's the only way you're going to get one. Or you got to be inside the Habit-Based Lifestyle Business Secrets or business program. But outside of that, let's get into today's episode. I also have 2 guests coming on, James Fowler, financial advisor, and then also Joey Kramer. He's going to be on around 9:50. We're going to be talking to these guys about the results they've gotten inside of the Habit-Based Lifestyle Business Accelerator. But let's get into today's show. Caleb, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about looking back on 2020. What's the number one thing that you have accomplished this year? Jesse?
I would say, maybe the biggest thing is really understanding like where I was back in like February or March as far as like business, and really like just wanting to launch a program that allowed people the ability to pivot in their business and work towards organic marketing and really teaching people how to make it rain in their own business with leads and being able to create a system around that could make people successful. And I think, the thing that I'm super excited about or that I've been able to do is literally, if you think about, kind of where we were, February, March, April, and then being able to launch this, one thing that's happened is, we've been able to prove in multiple industries that this business system works, regardless if you're a chiropractor, trainer, coach, consultant, financial advisor, insurance, it doesn't matter. Like the system works, and that's probably been, at least on the business side, something that I feel very good about accomplishing. Not only that, but just to see people who are going to be on this episode come on and be able to talk about the success they're having. That's been a huge, business accomplishment from my perspective for sure.
Yeah, that's super awesome. If we look back, beginning of this year, HBL didn't look like it does now. So you've done a great job. And same thing with you guys watching. If you're watching this, comment below, looking back at your 2020, what is the number one thing that you've accomplished this year that you're proud of? So comment that below, and we would love to hear about your accomplishments.
I think it's I think it's also important, so that's a business thing. The other business thing was me and my wife were coaching married couples, and it was going really well. It was going great, and then I decided about 3 or 4 months ago that like I just kind of felt like it was time to shift away from that. Not because I didn't believe in it, but just because I felt like we had been doing it for a while, and we really needed to work kind of on our own marriage. And so that was a place for me to kind of be like, you know what, it's cool to coach other marriages. It's cool to pour into other couples, but sometimes, we need someone to help us, coach or just help us in that way. And so that's been really cool to also kind of step back. And if you guys are watching this, it's kind of like, imagine you coach people all the time, but it's like, okay, well, what about me? How are we getting coached? And I really felt like that was a time and place where I was like, okay, we need to focus on ourselves versus, just worrying about all the couples that we were coaching. And so we really stepped back and did that. And then that opened up a bunch of doors for us also. So I want to also, talk about that sometimes that, as a coach, it's great telling people what to do. You're offering all this advice to people, but sometimes, you have to take your own advice and go seek out someone else to help you at the same time. And I really believe that's what makes us better also.
Yeah, that's a great realization. Great shift from coaching married couples now to coaching business owners and helping them grow their businesses online.
For sure. So let me ask you this: what has been the number one thing you've accomplished in 2020?
For me, it has to be definitely my financial independence. The beginning of the year, I was not financially independent. I was doing work with you, but I was also working with my dad during COVID, lost my apartment and moved back in with my parents, lost a lot of confidence, lost a lot of self-confidence, and felt heavily reliant on my family. And now fast forward to today, I'm completely financially independent at 20 years old. My parents aren't paying for anything of mine, and it feels really great. And I have a lot more confidence than I did at the beginning of the year. My body looks way better than it did at the beginning of the year. My faith and my spirituality has grown a lot, especially in these past couple weeks. And my relationship with my friends, I actually had close to, I think, like 0 close friends that I could call close friends at the beginning of the year. And then now I have an overwhelming amount of love that is poured into me. People have just been pouring into me. So this year, especially the second half of the year, has actually been the best, I would say the best case scenario for me. And I would say my biggest accomplishment out of all of that has been my confidence in myself.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's huge. And I will second that with you and just say, yeah, you've seen massive growth just in the last six months. I think kind of what you did is started with your body and got your confidence back there. And then it started kind of going into other areas of your life, which is super important and powerful. So great work on that.
Thank you. I'm very proud of myself.
As you should be. All right, let's go. James, come on up, man. Pull your camera up. There you are. Where's your Christmas hat? You didn't get the memo or what?
James only wears black and gray.
Well, we're going to have to change that. All right.
Okay. Jesse also wears black and gray.
I couldn't find one in black, so.
Well, they do make them, but it's just called Cole. All right. So James Fowler, you would consider yourself a financial advisor, correct?
Correct.
So James, you've been inside the Habit-Based Lifestyle Accelerator for almost 30 days now. And let me ask you, man, before you started working with us, what was your, marketing? What did it look like prior to stepping inside of the Habit-Based Lifestyle Business Accelerator?
So marketing has probably been the biggest challenge in business. So there's some businesses that are geared around just marketing towards my business. And essentially what I found is most people deliver a whole lot of, or offer a whole lot of promises, but deliver very little.
Okay, so prior to this, were you doing any type of marketing?
Yeah, so mostly online marketing, Facebook ads, things of that nature. So essentially what you're told is they're targeted, but the results didn't show that they were targeted.
Okay. And so you'd invested in some marketing, but you didn't really see the results.
No, not really. Or it was the results I did see, I would almost bring up to luck.
Okay.
You're gonna hit a window every once in a while, throwing a rock.
Okay, good. And so, like, you've been in this program for 30 days. What has been? We'll go through financial, obviously, that result, but like, what has been the biggest shift for you in the first 30 days, just from a marketing perspective?
Actually, I was thinking about this earlier today. It is going through your processes there. It's actually just connecting with people is what you're teaching is how to connect and create that bond with people where it generally isn't salesy. I get into a lot of side conversations, which is actually looking towards it's going to lead into business there. So it's incredibly easy.
And go ahead.
It's I value forming relationships, and it makes it easier to form the relationships in what you're teaching.
Okay, awesome. And, prior to this, you live in Washington. So like you kind of had to shut your marketing down, or at least the style of marketing you were doing from COVID and a lot of the other stuff. And so you were kind of searching for a new and different way to market. Because the ways that you'd been doing it, you couldn't really do it anymore.
Yeah, I did a lot of face-to-face. So I would typically do workshops.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much not possible now. I don't see anyone doing outdoor workshops like they're doing at restaurants, right? That's not going to work for what I do. So you had to be able to pivot and adapt to make things happen.
Okay,
and,
awesome.
Even previously, before what I found, what was working for me was going back and working on the relationships that I worked with in the past, and you're just helping me expand upon those.
Okay, awesome. So in the first 30 days of this program, what's been the financial result for you that you've been able to do?
Actually, I have an update on that. So I told you last week what had happened on that. So I had a client that we just started interacting with online. So he messaged me, he mentions that he wanted to do an additional $10,000 worth in business. Well, it turns out I got another deposit notification on there. So actually he decided to do an additional $20,000 in business off of those conversations there.
Nice. That's awesome. So your first 30 days, you've done an additional $20,000 in business. And this is a way for you. So the one thing I want to stress is a lot of our existing clients want to do more business with us, but we never give them the opportunity to do that. And what I think is really cool is to know that you're saying, like, listen, I developed an even better relationship with this guy. He's been following my content and I've been giving value, and now he's wanted to step into and do more and as far as investing than he previously was.
Yeah, it's a matter of fact, he's just sending me a message. He wants me to meet with some of some of his kids are older than I am now. but he wants me to meet with his kids now too. So
Wow.
and they're probably more successful than he is.
Really? Even better, man. Look at that. You're like,
well, what we came up with that was working is what I identified. What I really do is I take stress away so that they can retire happy. And the kids are starting to notice that mom and dad aren't worried about money anymore. Matter of fact, they're living in abundance now. And they're starting to say, so they're asking their parents, what are you doing? Because they're seeing that effect there. So I like that effect there where it's easy for them to describe.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing that you're building relationships, and you're able to not only build the relationship with the client, but also they trust you enough to want to refer people to you, especially in their immediate family, because of the results that they're seeing. And I think that's the most powerful way that we can really work with people is through other people's results. That's kind of how you came in, right? You've seen, some results from other people you were working with, like your trainer, to where you're like, hey, I think I want to work on, this same thing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I was attracted to this system it's kind of a funny story because my best friend is a trainer. And I wound up leaving working her to go work with my current trainer just because the way she was marketing. So I essentially cyber stalked her for about a week. We got into dialogue, and I think 15 minutes turned into like an hour and a half conversation. I was like, okay, how do we make the process happen? And within there, I got into her program, and then she does she puts us in training groups, and I started to notice that other people in that group were doing the same thing that she did. So I got curious and led me down to the rabbit trail. Then I found you. I think it was Thanksgiving I found you. So I'm messaging you. I think it was on Thanksgiving I'm messaging you because of that, maybe a week before. And yeah, good people lead you to other good people.
For sure. Yeah, man. It's pretty cool to just watch kind of the path. And like you said, there's a lot of times people are watching you. You may not even know it. And I really believe when you're putting yourself out there consistently, whether people are commenting, liking on your stuff, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you stay consistent with the value you're bringing. And I really believe people get attracted to that. And they want to do business with that, and they want to form a relationship with someone who's consistent, because at the end of the day, that's what I think attracts people more than anything to other people. So, well, hey, I want to thank you for being on here and just sharing a little bit of your story and talking about your success. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much more successful you can be inside of this program.
Thanks for having me, Jesse.
You're welcome, man. Hey, have a Merry Christmas, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Guys, if you're watching this right now, like, what is the one thing that you are taking away from James? Like, what are you learning about yourself? You don't even have to be in the same business. Like, this guy's literally taken existing clients he's already had, and he's upgrading their level of service because of the value he's providing through the system that we are teaching him inside the Habit-Based Lifestyle Accelerator. Next up, we're going to bring on Joey Kramer, who is a chiropractor. And let me get him on here. Hold on one sec. Joey, what's happening? Are you there? You're muted.
What's up, Joey?
Oh, what's up? Hey. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
All right. What's up?
What's happening, man?
Just finishing off the morning with patients, man. Just getting done.
Nice.
Got one more afternoon shift, and then we're done for the day. So that's nice.
Okay. Awesome. So why don't we'll get into, so Joey Kramer's a chiropractor in Southlake, Texas. And he came to me originally about 3.5 months ago. and I think you were consistently doing about 16,500 a month.
Yeah, right around
at
there.
Time, but like, dude, what was the marketing like for you back then before you started working with us?
I would describe it as a grind. I think we did everything that, traditional small business people do. You join the Chamber of Commerce, you get in a BNI group, you buy Facebook ads, and you wear your ass out, running from a networking meeting at 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. to a networking lunch from 11 till 1. And then you go out for happy hour from 4 to 6, and then you run home and you repeat the cycle, 5-6 days a week, whatever you do on that standpoint. Right.
Okay.
So,
so were you having much, I know with, kind of COVID and stuff like that, how much success were you having with your marketing prior to getting into habit-based lifestyle?
I would say 0 would be my percentage of success, right? It was really interesting. Most people who came in were friends or people who had some good experiences, things along those lines. But from the effort of the amount of time I was putting into those marketing activities, the return was 0. I mean, net 0 on that return.
Okay, awesome. And let me ask you this, man. What has been your success just over the last 3 months? If we go back to kind of your month 1, 2, and then where you're at today.
Let's see here. Do you want like numbers or do you want to talk about like
patients? We can do both. We can do both. Okay.
So we've consecutively added between 15 and 20 people the last 3 months in a row. So I've added 60 new people since starting with you. And the practice, which is huge, right? Especially in the middle of a pandemic where people are kind of scared. But with that being said, collections transformed the whole entire practice. I did the last 9 months in the last 3 months.
Wow. So you did more in the last 3 months than you did in the previous 9 months.
In the previous 9 months, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I actually did, I almost collected my, last year's collections in the last 3 months.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
It is amazing. Yeah.
What's been the biggest shift for you? Obviously finances are huge, but like what's been the biggest shift for you as a businessman since being in this program?
I would say that I actually love my business right now. For the last 3 years, I've had a hard time liking it. Okay. I remember I had this phone call with my mom. She's probably one of my best friends. I was talking to her back in August, and I was like, I don't even think I need to be a chiropractor anymore. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to sign a lease because my lease comes up next year. I was like, I'm just going to go find something else, right? We're just going to move on. And she's like, oh, ye of little faith. Like, and I told her, I called her and I was just like, hey, I got this new coach. I hired him up. And she's like asking me all about it. And I was just like, yeah, she goes, it sounds like he's going to be good for you. And so there we go. And how the tide has turned, man. So loving the business. The biggest thing that I've seen different is that the people who are coming in fit what we want to see. And they actually want the results and we can communicate it to them in a way that shows them value. And it also gives them a reason to invest in their health beyond the typical chiropractic care, right? Because we're not just talking about pain. We're looking at the whole person and what's going on and how we can heal them with the program you helped me design.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think, one of the cool things to watch is, us to like, I remember having a conversation with you where you're like, I just want to do 20K a month. I was like, dude, that's it. Like, you're only like $4,000 away from that right now. And you're like, well, I think eventually I want to do 50K or 40K a month. And, what's cool is that like, dude, it literally took you, 3 months to get there.
It did.
I think the one cool thing that I like really about you and I respect is you're always asking like, hey, why is this person not getting results or why is this person getting results? And so it really makes me understand it. Like you really genuinely want to learn how to get the best results and how to really maximize what you're getting out of this. And, that shows up in your day-to-day business. And the cool thing is this is normally a month where I would say the majority of business owners have kind of packed it in for the year. And this happens to be your best month out of the year. And I think you're actually going to double your best month this month, right?
I am.
This whole year.
Yeah, I just finished out my last 2 reports. So we just closed out. Yeah, double my best month. And my best month was last month. So
okay. What was your best month prior to this?
28K.
Okay, so this month you've already done more than 56,000.
Closed out 56,000. Yeah.
And are you done for the year, or do you have more next week?
I don't have anybody on target for next week yet, but that doesn't mean that can't change in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, so, I like the yet.
Yeah.
So you went from 16,000, 17,000 kind of average to hitting almost 60,000 in less than 90 days. And throughout that, you've continued to add new clients. You've continued to just build out your practice. Like what's the biggest thing you're looking to do heading into 2021? Like what's this change you want to make inside that first quarter?
When we stay on this pace and we keep moving forward and adding that volume of patients, by March, I'll be needing a second doctor is what we need. So we'll have to expand the practice. Because I really don't want to add more hours. I'd rather, add somebody else underneath me that can grow as well. So,
right. I think one of the cool things, you said too was, when you first started working with us, your scope of work and how many hours you were working then versus now, what's been the change in that for you?
I work less hours and I make more.
Okay.
Because, think about it. So if you're running between networking events, right, your 6 hours a day is gassed in networking. And now I don't even do any of that. I have two standing networking events. One is one that I run. It's a whiskey cigar club, and we meet the last Wednesday of the month. And then the other one is a small group of guys that gets together and we all have cigars and talk about guns. So those are my 2 standing events that I have. Outside of that, it's all dedicated to family. I mean, it's really nice. It's a good it's freedom, right? I have the opportunity instead of saying I have to go to this meeting, I don't really have to. I don't even have to make that choice. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So what's been a unexpected result since you've got into this program?
I made the post last week. My marriage has significantly improved, and that's from your guidance. Really just helping me understand how to communicate, one, with my wife, how to set up date nights, how to get babysitters involved, and the strategy of how we can really maneuver that into our relationship has been a big success, right? Because I know if the home life isn't, good, then the business life will fall apart. And so that's been the biggest guidance. I mean, really the most unexpected thing, because I came into this thinking it's a business system. We're going to talk about business. And 99% of our conversations are not about business. So.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm super proud of you, man. And, I think the cool thing is sometimes in your industry, guys are like, I don't want to learn from this trainer, like douchebag. What is he going to teach me about, business, or what is he going to teach me about being a chiropractor? And I think it's been pretty cool to watch you just be like, hey, man, I'm here to learn and I'm going to do whatever you tell me. And you've done it. And to see your success has been pretty amazing.
It's awesome. I would tell you this, and a previous organization that is chiropractors only, they used to tell you that Black Friday was your done day. So you might as well close down December.
Okay.
And here we go, 56K in December. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Well, super proud of you, and can't wait to see what you're going to be doing in 2021.
Heck yeah, brother. Thanks, Coach.
All right, bro. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay, guys, if you are watching this, regardless of what type of business you're in or not, like, what are you taking away from Joey Kramer? Like, this guy is literally, if you think about just when he first came in, he was doing 16K a month, and he is literally almost 4X that in his first 90 days. Without running Facebook ads, without doing funnels, without doing anything. And he actually loves his practice again. I mean, you guys heard it. He went from pretty much hating his practice back in August to now loving it and loving the clients he's able to work with. And then also he's improved his marriage. So it's been huge just to watch that transition and to watch the shift in people that they make coming into this. So let's do a shirt giveaway. So if you are watching this right now and you want to win a t-shirt, I want you to just type in Habit Life right now, and we will make sure that you get a shirt before the end of the year. Just type in Habit Life and we'll make sure you get a shirt and you win that. Go ahead and type that up in the comments. Bart, we got Derek. We'll get you one too, Derek, because I don't think I did the hat. If you'd rather have a hat, just put hat and I'll make sure you get a hat. If you want a t-shirt, just put t-shirt and I'll make sure you get a t-shirt. So whichever one you'd rather have, just type it up in there. We'll make sure Bart
Derek
gets a t-shirt because he's already got a hat. And then Derek, you can either get a hat or a t-shirt, whatever you want, man. Just type in hat or t-shirt. That way we know what it is. Guys, stick around. The last part of this, we're going to be giving away one of our brand new hoodies with the new. These things are so fresh. They're in the printers right now. So we're going to be giving that away also. So last part of this is, we want to talk about trends kind of heading into 2021. I think the biggest trend that we have seen just in this last year in 2020 was like, could you pivot in your business? Could you pivot as far as like going straight at your customers online? And that's where, I've really seen this pivot in 2020 is understanding what it takes to get customers virtually or in an online space and be able to make it rain for yourself. This is one of the things that I sat down last year and I said, listen, if everything got taken away from me, could I, in the place I'm in right now, could I restart a new business and know how to make it rain for myself with leads, know how to make it rain for myself with an opportunity to, get clients on demand? And I can look back and say, yes, like now I can. I can also teach other people how to do that. But I think the big shift and trend you're going to see in 2021 is I think you're going to see some private social networks start popping up that are going to be more privately branded outside of Facebook, kind of the Instagram, LinkedIn. I think you're going to start seeing people create kind of their own private networks. And I think these are going to be huge. And then I also think we're going to be going away from Zoom. And one of the things that I'm already working on right now is going into virtual reality and doing some coaching that's specifically where my clients are tuning in virtual reality. And basically we have a whole different coaching experience where they feel like we're in the room at the same time. I also really believe that live in-person events are going to be huge in 2021, which is something we're going to be gearing up for and giving guys an opportunity to step into our coaching experience doing that. And so those are really kind of the three big trends. Also, if you're a business owner and you're looking to start a business, I really think 2021 is going to be an opportunity to start multiple styles of business. I think we're going to see more people than ever begin to start their own businesses in 2021, like 2 to 3 times more, because I just think you're being presented with different opportunities now. People don't have to necessarily go to the office, so they're going to have more time, they're going to have more freedom. And so in doing that, there's going to be a lot of opportunities come up. I also really see some industries being radically transformed. One of them is an old industry that I was in, which was, your fitness industry. Fitness and gym is going to completely and radically be altered in this next 2021 as if it already wasn't in 2020. But I see that as a huge industry shift. And then also obviously the coaching space is going to continue to grow, and it's probably going to surpass, possibly even the fitness space at some point. but I see box gyms going away. You know, by in the next 6 to 8 months, I see probably 70 to 80% of them going away because of that high overhead and things like that. And so I really see those things as big trends coming up. Again, I'm not psychic, but these are just things that I see from my own personal experience. Caleb, anything that you're seeing?
I see that. Well, to a lot of your points, I totally see those too. I feel like people are really craving in-person events. People are craving personal connection. I think a lot of business owners are going to start to move online. A lot of people are going to start seeing the value of moving online. And I think a huge thing too is back in 2019 when there was a lot of like personal interaction, people would go into gyms. There wasn't as much, personal accountability to people's fitness, to people's businesses. A lot of people, including myself, relied on the energy of the atmosphere in the world. Other people left and right of me. And now that we had 2020 pandemic and people were inside, I think a lot of people had to find a fire deep inside of themselves to keep them going, and taking a lot more personal responsibility in their business and their fitness and their mental health. So I think a lot of what we're doing is helping business owners take personal responsibility for their income instead of leaving that up to the government, instead of leaving that up to other people, So I think personal responsibility and moving online is 2021,
Yeah. Well, I would say, if you haven't already moved online, you're left behind. And what do we really mean by moving online? Is being able to find a lead source and lead system online. Doesn't mean you have to do exclusive business online, but you better be able to find your ideal client online. Because if you can't do that, you're going to be left behind. The other point you brought up was that we didn't talk about, which is mental health. Mental health is going to be the new physical fitness. So people aren't going to give a shit about six packs anymore. They're going to care about, what does my mental health look like? Because I know a lot of people have six packs that their mental health, it's all over the place. And so mental health is going to be your new test of physical fitness. And that's what we're kind of heading into. If you think of what the pandemic has taught us, it's people are mentally unstable. We obviously, regardless of who's president, who's not, which we're going to find out in, the next 3 or 4 weeks. One thing that we do know is this, mental health is a huge thing. And that's something that we really have to pay attention to, more so than any virus, more so than who's president, and just being able to protect that in ourselves, heading into 2021. And that was a piece that I left off, but I really believe that that's going to matter more this year, probably than any other year, because we haven't even seen the effect of the last 8 to 10 months on our society, and just with what we're heading into as far as, this new year. This is a time and opportunity for us to really get that right and get that straight. And that's what we're really focused on, as a company going forward. So
because this is a habit-based lifestyle, what's one habit that people can do, especially business owners, to strengthen their mental health, and also encourage their families too, as they're spending a lot more time with their families, to help them strengthen their mental health too? What's something that you would tell?
I think the biggest thing is what people don't realize is mental health. 96% of it, I would probably even say more, starts in your gut health, which starts with nutrition. And I think that's the number one place that we have to go back to is okay, what is the foundation of our mental health? And it's really our gut health. And we have to address that first, because if I just say, well, meditate, if I'm eating crappy food and my gut health is off, it doesn't matter how much I meditate. because ultimately the thing that I'm putting inside my body all the time is completely messing up my mental health, regardless of how much I meditate. It doesn't mean that I don't think meditation is important, but like, I always believe that, hey, these are some things that we have to address first. So number one is your gut health, whether that means you getting on a probiotic, whether that means you changing your diet. Those are things that we can all address. And if you're talking about family, who's cooking at home, really understanding what we're putting into our body. And if you think about the last year has presented, hey, if you're unhealthy, you may be possibly exposed to a virus and you may not be able to recover. And so, heading into 2021 is you're going to have to take your health into your own hands. No government is going to save you from it. You got to figure out some other ways to exercise, even if your gym gets shut down. Some of those things that we've known to have and take for granted are kind of being stripped away from us. And so we have to take our health back. We have to take our freedom back. And we also have to take choice back and stop giving it away to other people to decide our fate or decide our outcomes for us.
No, I love that. That's great. So what I'm hearing is our mental health starts with our gut health. It starts with our physical health too.
Yeah, I mean, so if you think of like physical health is very external, right? Mm-hmm. And so we could look in shape, but my gut health could still be off, which actually affects my mental health. And so, your gut health affects your brain health more than anything else, which has to do with the type of food you're eating, has to do with the bacteria in your gut. So just getting that cleaned up and straight can actually improve our mental health more than anything.
I will say, after cooking a lot more like you do, instead of eating my mom's amazing Asian home cooking, my mental health has been a lot stronger. I've been a lot healthier mentally. I think that attributes to a lot of the chicken breasts and veggies that I've been eating after copying a lot of your meals that you make.
Nice. Well, at least it's rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we are here with the final giveaway, hooded sweatshirt. Also, we want to let you know next week's show, instead of being on Friday, it's going to be on Wednesday. We want to get in one more episode next Wednesday to kick off the end of 2020 and to move into 2021. I may do a special episode on 2021. I haven't decided yet on January 1, but for sure next Wednesday, we're going to be doing another show to kick off 2020 or to end 2020 and kick off 2021. I also want to let you know, going forward, we're going to be doing shows on Wednesdays and Fridays. We're going to be doing them 2 times a week starting in 2021. So make sure you tune into that. And then today, we're giving away your hooded sweatshirt. Now, first person who types in Habit Life is going to get the hooded sweatshirt. Now, hooded sweatshirts may come out the very first of the year, but you will be one of the first ones to get one. So just go ahead and type in Habit Life. We'll make sure you get one. We'll make sure you get access to it. And we'll make sure that you get this sent out over the next 7 to 10 days. So go ahead and type. Oh, we got a guy, Ben Allen Kaiser. He was on it really quick. So
that was really
we'll
fast.
We'll make sure you get that. Guys, if you are in this and you want to invite some friends, some family to check this out, it's only available inside this Facebook group. So please invite your friends, your family. There's going to be some cool things happening inside of here in 2021. And we're just getting started with this, but we want to thank you for being here. We hope you guys all have a blessed Christmas, and we're going to be back here next week. Caleb, you got any last words?
Nope, that's about it.
Okay. All right, guys, have a Merry Christmas. Not a great Christmas, but a Merry Christmas. We do say that here, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Merry Christmas.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Hughes.